was the kind of smile that stayed with you long after it was gone, fleeting, like a spark in the dark, a whisper of something too bright to hold. Spider-Man had only seen it once, and it haunted him. It wasn't the kind of smile meant for the world, or for the cameras, or for the hero he was supposed to be. It was something softer, something meant for the shadows, for the quiet moments when no one was watching. And he wasn't supposed to see it. It happened in the rain. Not the kind of rain that falls gently, but the kind that beats against the windows like it's trying to get in. Spider-Man had been patrolling the city, his senses tingling with unease, when he saw her. Supergirl. She was standing on the edge of a rooftop, her cape heavy with water, her gaze fixed on the horizon. He didn't mean to approach her. They weren't exactly friends, more like allies who occasionally crossed paths. But something about the way she stood, so still, so alone, pulled him forward. "You're going to catch a cold," he said, his voice light, trying to mask the worry that crept in. She didn't turn, didn't even flinch. For a moment, he thought she hadn't heard him. Then, softly, she spoke. "I don't get colds," she murmured, her voice barely audible over the rain. It wasn't a rebuke, just a fact, but it made him feel small, like he'd stumbled into a moment that wasn't his to share. He shifted awkwardly, the rain soaking through his suit. "Right, Supergirl, of course," he laughed nervously, but it fell flat. Silence stretched between them, heavy and thick, until she finally turned to him. And that's when he saw it, her smile. It wasn't the confident, radiant grin she wore when she was saving the world. It was something fragile, something real. The kind of smile that said, "I'm tired, I'm human, I'm hurting." And just as quickly as it appeared, it was gone, replaced by the mask she wore so well. "Go home," she said softly, her voice carrying a weight he couldn't place. "There's nothing for you here." And with that, she was gone, a streak of crimson and blue disappearing into the storm. He stood there for a long time, staring at the spot where she'd been, the rain washing over him, as if trying to erase the memory of her smile. Weeks passed, and he tried to forget. He threw himself into his work, into saving the city, into being the hero everyone expected him to be. But it lingered, that smile, like a ghost in the corners of his mind. He told himself it didn't mean anything, that it was just a moment, a crack in her armor. But he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd seen something no one else had, a piece of her she kept hidden, a piece she didn't want anyone to see. Then she was in trouble. Not the kind of trouble Supergirl usually faced, but the kind that didn't involve supervillains or world-ending threats. It was something smaller, something quieter, something that no one else could see. He found her again, this time in a dimly lit alley, her back pressed against the brick wall, her breath coming in shallow gasps. She looked broken, and for the first time, he realized just how heavy her burdens were, how much she carried alone. "Hey," he said softly, his voice gentle, like he was afraid she might shatter. She didn't look at him, but he saw the way her shoulders tensed, the way her fists clenched. "You don't have to do this alone," he continued, stepping closer. "You don't have to be strong all the time." She let out a shaky laugh, but it was hollow, empty. "That's what they expect, isn't it? For me to be strong, to be invincible." Her voice cracked, and he saw the tears she was trying so hard to hold back. "But I'm not. I'm not invincible, Spider-Man. I'm just me." He reached out slowly, giving her the chance to pull away. When she didn't, he placed a hand on her shoulder, feeling the tremble beneath his touch. "That's enough," he said quietly. "You're enough." And for the first time since that night in the rain, she smiled. Not the fleeting, fragile smile he'd seen before, but something softer, something real, something that said, "Thank you." And in that moment, he knew he would do anything to see that smile again. Not because he needed her to be happy, but because she deserved to be. Because even heroes need someone to catch them when they fall. And maybe, just maybe, he could be that someone. For her, for the girl whose smile he'd only seen once, but would never forget.